Hello and welcome to Note to File, a clinical research podcast.
A collection of interviews, candid commentary, and general nonsense for the clinical research community.
Check us out at notetofilepodcast.com.
And now, without further ado, on to the show.
Hey, welcome to another Note to File. Denali, how's it going?
Good. That was a super fitting intro little video clip. It is absolutely pouring here. So
yeah, getting some nice.
Kidding.
Is it needed rain?
I feel like that's such a Midwest Oklahoma question.
I mean, yeah, that's
fair. No, we have that conversation all the time here in Wisconsin too. Not really, honestly. We've had a pretty crazy weather start to the year, just in general. I know probably not compared to like what you guys are used to, but like we've already had more tornado warnings this year than we have in the entirety of last year. Like we're getting a lot of just more severe or like caustic weather with like hail and like big storms and stuff. So we've had actually a decent amount of rain. Although to be really honest, I'm not like the most cued into our agricultural needs and ecosystems. So I'm sure there are other more informed opinions.
Research that for the next podcast.
I'll look up the Farmer's Almanac.
Speaking of which, today, June 11th, all good here. Mostly just hot in Oklahoma, but today is National Corn on the Cob Day.
Huh. I'm not the biggest corn fan. It's a little weird. Like people really like it. They get very into it here. Like there's sweet corn festivals. There's
sweet corn festival. No thanks.
The whole thing. So people get pretty into it here with our like farming agricultural world, as I was saying.
This is a very agricultural episode, apparently.
I actually just met someone whose husband does all like the safety for all the agricultural farms for the University of Wisconsin.
All the safeties.
Yeah, to make sure they don't have to get like OSHA violations and stuff. Anyway, what other days? What other days is it?
German chocolate cake day.
What makes a cake German chocolate? Is like the frosting, or is there something also with the cake itself?
That's a good question. Wow, sorry, I had to click out of that because it was screaming in my ear. Apparently pop-ups on this. I don't know. We should look. I can look into that, but it looks like I don't know what constitutes it. Sorry, can you hear that when I click it?
No, it's just in your ear, but your audio gets like drops and gets like weirdly like you're speaking through like
it's like a screen. It's like some kind of pop up on there, and then it starts just shouting into my ear. So, well, you know what? We'll never know. We'll never know.
We'll never know. No, because a German chocolate cake is the cake. I think it's generally like a milk chocolate cake. It's not super dark, I think, and then it has like a coconutty, really sweet frosting. If I recall correctly,
it actually originated in Texas.
Huh.
It gets its name from Samuel German, an English-American chocolatier.
So there's really nothing German about it, except for his last name was German. Huh.
Yeah, apparently so.
The more you know.
It's a specific dessert that features a lighter, milder cake topped and filled with gooey coconut pecan frosting.
That's pretty much what I said, yeah?
I mean, sure. I wasn't listening,
but... Classic.
Take your word. I'll take your word on it. Very good. Yeah, not many, but it's not a lot of good stuff going on today. It's kind of boring.
I'm not a big like cake, chocolate, or corn person. I mean, across the board.
I'm not a cake person until there's cake in front of me. Then I become a cake person.
It's a fair transformation.
I'm just saying. It's one of those things I don't really care about it. I don't want a cake until I'm eating cake. I'm like, oh yeah. Cake. Awesome.
Yeah.
I don't think we're streaming on LinkedIn for some reason. It's being super weird. So if you're watching on LinkedIn, leave a comment and say hi. Or we'll just keep doing this show for no one in particular.
Which is different how?
I was going to say that's pretty much normal. It shows that as the stream's like over and ended, if I try to pull it up. So, oh well. So what's new?
What's new? Man, I feel like my personal life is, I mean, in a shambles is the real wrong way to say it, but, you know, I'm moving still, obviously. New background. You're not giving me shit because I don't have a blank wall,
Temporary.
which is it's very
I
temporary.
mean, you didn't have to do that just because I gave you a
Oh.
hard time.
Oh, I did.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
So, I mean, yeah, but I feel like summer and then, like, school's over, so, like, start of summer camps are starting. So, like, all of that whole realm of life is a bit up in the air, but not bad by any means.
Sure.
Otherwise, I don't know, life be lifing. Wanna How about you? You guys are in full summer thing, yeah?
Yeah, kids are out for summer. Uh, my daughter plays soccer and dealing with a lot of that stuff. Other than that, normal life at a research site, which is full of ups and downs.
Yeah. I feel like I always at work, I'm like, "Oh, we'll get through spring conference season." And it's like, "Okay, well, then it's summer." And then there's, like, summer gonna be quieter because academics and folks are on holiday or off for the break, and then but I feel like it never actually comes to fruition. I'm always like, "Oh, well, maybe in July." And it's like, "Well, August is gonna be the month." And then,
Fair enough. I believe somebody on LinkedIn said they see you. Thank you, LinkedIn user. I can't tell who you are, but
StreamYard's just cocking up, huh?
Or at least that part's working.
For the
So,
win.
okay, what's exciting in the space right now? What's exciting in clinical research?
Well, honestly, I actually wanted to talk about something that you posted, earlier this week, sometime this week, which is about the ClinicalTrials.gov submission that you apparently were able to create
Yeah.
and submit and publish. Like, what I just tell me more. What happened? What
Yeah,
did you do?
well, I mean, it's super easy to do. I mean, they've got their little registration system. Obviously, you have to answer some questions. It's not like it's a pain to, like, go through all the different parts, and frankly, like, you know, I'll admit my laziness. I didn't, like, write the design of a whole study. I mean, I definitely used some AI tweaking to fill
Yeah.
fields, like, because I mostly wanted to see, like, how easy it was.
You're committed to the bit, but not that committed.
Yeah, I mean, like, committed enough, but this is, like, classic me. I'm all into it, and then I'm like, "Ah, you know what? I'm already over this," like, but I was already there, so, and a lot of it started because, like, there was a study opportunity floating around, and, like, it's on ClinicalTrials.gov, and I, like, started getting, like, some weird vibes that it didn't seem completely legit,
What do you mean?
and
Like,
I don't know.
tell me more about
I mean, it's like a diagnostic study,
that. Okay.
essentially, and, like, some conversations with the, "sponsor," quote, unquote, seemed just weird, like, they didn't quite know what they were doing. I looked it up on ClinicalTrials.gov. It had been there for, like, years and years, like, 8 years. It had been posted on
Okay.
ClinicalTrials.gov. One nice thing you can do is you can go to ClinicalTrials.gov, and you can look at the history of a record.
I've done that before.
Yeah, so I could see, like, who originally was the contact, how the contacts changed, how the site locations changed. Um, and it just kinda got me thinking, like, I was going down all these rabbit holes just to figure out, like, is the study legit or, like, what is going on here? Um, and I was like, well, I mean, how hard is it to just make one of these records? Like, for anything? And, turns out it's pretty easy. It took especially with, if you have everything prepared, I mean, you could probably do it in 10 minutes.
Okay. So you had to,
Um,
like, create an account first, right?
I had to create an account. It had to get, like, approved. So there was
Okay.
a little bit of a stopgap there, and then I had to fill out all the stuff. It goes to a review, and actually, it led me to believe again, part of my laziness. There was feedback on my submission, and,
Okay.
I, like, tried to click it, and it was, like, giving me, like, some problems, and then I changed my mind and was like, "Alright, whatever." So let me look. I've got it I think I've still got it pulled up.
Okay.
So if I click it hold on, I gotta log back in. But it led me to believe that, like, someone actually did review this record.
Someone or some AI bot reviewed it or some intern.
Right. Which, I mean, even then, like, at what point are they
Well, reviewing
responsible
for
for
what too, right? Like, they're not an ethics review committee. they're not a scientific review committee. So like, what do you mean, like, to make sure it didn't have like profanity and some semblance of like, this isn't just a bunch of like gobbledygook nonsense? But
So,
other than
okay,
that, I mean, what are they reviewing?
Here's the reviewer comments. So I had reviewer comments under my eligibility section.
Okay.
And it says, basically just says, please reformat the eligibility criteria. The preferred format includes bulleted lists of inclusion and exclusion criteria as shown below. Please see the formatting eligibility section of the user's guide. So apparently they don't care about the quality of it, but I didn't use, I mean, it looks like I did it the same way. I just didn't use hyphens for my bullet points. So they didn't like that, apparently. And then there's one under conditions. Please format the conditions and keywords to one per line using the add condition. Oh, because I have a list that I did with like a comma separated list instead of adding each one individually.
It's like a list. So
apparently they had no issues with the like actually what it contained, but more they just cared about the formatting of the record.
Well, and I guess that's an interesting, I mean, Claire, which kind of makes sense at some level, because it's assuming that if you're running a trial, IRB is doing the ethics, right? You have a scientific that's doing, like, they're probably not looking for ethics or scientific validity. Like, that's probably well beyond their scope. They're probably looking for, like, is this any semblance of real, or is this like a bunch of kids putting swear words on the internet, and or formatting, I guess, as like the primary piece of it.
Formatting seems to be what they were mostly concerned with. So, you know, at the end of the day, anyone can essentially create an account under the Protocol Registration and Results System called PRS.
Okay.
That's like how
their acronym
is. And yeah, as long as you can, you know, if you've ever seen ClinicalTrials.gov, you know what fields they're going to ask. And yeah, as long as you can fill out those in enough completion, they will publish it.
I was going to say, what's like the requirements for completeness? Because I mean, I've seen like actual legitimate trials on there that have a bunch of like missing shit.
Yeah, I will say it, and maybe it would have been a fun exercise to do like in real time online, but there were a couple of things that I had to go back and do because I didn't like that I didn't complete. Like I don't think I put in one of the endpoints initially or something.
Okay.
But it's fairly light on what it like truly requires you to put in there. Right.
Like you didn't have to put sites in, for example.
Yeah. No, they don't seem to care about that. Which, you know, I mean, I could have gone like crazy with some of this stuff just to be silly, but I mean, I mostly wanted to see if they would publish it or not, which they did. So take that for what it's worth. Then? I mean, I don't know, honestly. I mean, it was actually more funny to like watch other people's reactions to it because frankly, I think people like, I don't know. It's always interesting to me with these things when I do them because I think people take their interpretations like to levels that I didn't necessarily think about. Some guy reposted and made a comment about like, would companies use this to like sabotage each other, you know, which I'm not sure.
Like posing as
that, I guess,
like
or like
pharma company 1 and I pose as pharma company 2 with a complete bullshit trial or what?
I don't know. Maybe if somebody wanted to like know what you're working on or is like tracking your pipeline, if you're like filling it up with nonsense and then they're like, maybe they're like, oh crap, that's a target we didn't look at. We need to be looking at drugs in this space. I don't know. I don't know how you would potentially do that. I'm not going to claim to be smart enough to know.
Like false signals for like drug development pipelines and shit.
Maybe. Again, I don't know. I thought it was an interesting take. And I guess more I'm concerned about, you know, patients, if patients try to use ClinicalTrials.gov. I mean, I think there's still some debate as to like, I mean, you ask like what's the point of ClinicalTrials.gov?
Well, because
that's people who are like, well, it's not for patients to find trials. I'm like, well, yeah, but they do, and they will.
It wasn't designed for patients as a trial matching tool for patients. However, in the absence of anything remotely at that scale and accessibility, that's what it's become, because there is nothing else, as far as I know. I mean, there's companies, right, that like ingest pieces of it and make it more accessible and whatever, but like,
well, at the end of the day, this is the only place where you're going to find like this much information about these many different types of trials, because no one person was like, what other alternative is there? Call every pharma company and like ask them what trials they have open, which is not a thing.
Well, and then even the vendors who are in this space who are like ingesting it and making it more accessible to patients for, searching and such, are still generally financially funded by pharma. So they're going to include the trials that pharma is paying them to surface and elevate. So it's not going to be a comprehensive look of all trials, right? Like, it's like, I'm doing this company, like XYZ sponsor are paying me to help in their recruitment efforts to promote their trials on my website to make it easily identifiable and searchable for patients, which is great. But for a patient who has a disease indication and I'm looking for trials, those searches aren't as interesting to me, because it's only going to give me like a slice of the trials that potentially I could be eligible for. And especially in some conditions with such stringent I&E criteria, the likelihood of me as a patient saying, I have an indication, I need to go find a trial, and I'm going to fit the criteria for the trials that happened to contract with these vendors who made it more applicable and easier for me to find. So I'm going to go to ClinicalTrials.gov. Now, is that going to be useful at all because it's a massive dump of incomplete data that's may or may not be updated? Nah, maybe not.
Stuff like this that some jerk just put on there to screw around with it. And some guy was showing me like it got indexed by Google, and so it's probably like, I wonder if you went to some of these other websites that are basically just scraping data and like showing it to you in a more friendly way. I mean, surely it's showing up on those.
Yeah, although I'd argue that they're probably focusing more on the ones they're showing that are going to give them revenue, right? So they're probably not, unless you decide to pay people, like, that's not going to be surfaced necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, yes, probably true enough, but yeah, I don't know. Again, I just thought it was interesting that essentially, again, anybody can kind of go there. There's no true way to know what's actually true or false or what's happening.
I think I'm just going to wait until you get like a letter saying like, hey, you haven't submitted data on this trial back to us. Was it because didn't they recently, a couple months ago, the FDA came out and said like a huge proportion of trials on ClinicalTrials.gov have not reported data and such around like endpoints and like success.
Somebody in the comments mentioned that, like, can't wait to see when they try to fine you for incomplete data. I'm like, well, I will say AI did warn me not to do this because I could technically be assessed a fine.
For what?
I don't remember how it worded it, but like basically like putting bad data out there, like false data is, I mean, probably some obscure statute that I'm breaking by doing that. But apparently what I read is they send you a warning and then you have time. And I could technically, I think in that time I could just take it down, and there's really not much they could do about it. But
I feel like putting false data out there it's not everything is created equal. It's not like those like researchers in Florida were just found guilty of that.
Read that. Happened. Was that the same thing that came up earlier, or is that a different?
Yeah. So I think it's the same the same people who were originally like tagged, and I think this is the result of that like investigation. I think they're all potentially could get up to like 20 years in prison or something for like
I did not
falsifying all of that.
I saw some posts about it. I didn't click in and read the full thing, but I wondered because we talked about it like earlier when it happened, if it was the same group or different.
Yeah, no, I think
what's up, Dan? Happy World Cup Day. Soccer time. Football.
But yeah, I think it's the same folks, and it basically said like they were found guilty or confirmed of like making up data, taking patient records and enrolling them when they weren't enrolled, not actually administering all of that.
It's actually frowned upon to do that.
It's a little known fact.
It is little known. Something else we talked about recently that I tried to explore a little bit. We talked about, that there's basically like betting now.
Yeah, it was
There's a
last
betting
week.
market.
Let's bet on clinical trial endpoints.
So yeah, I mean the website's called Endpoint Arena. And I will say I tried to make an account and it looks like it restricted me because I'm in a jurisdiction that doesn't allow me to do this according to the little disclaimer on the top of their website, or it's just broken. But I tried to sign up a few different ways and it wouldn't let me. I imagine if you really wanted it, if you were really intent on doing it and you had a VPN, I assume you could, make it look like you're anywhere in the world and go from there. But right now there was only one study, it looks like, that you're potentially able to wager on. And it's a study for wet age-related macular degeneration.
So what is it asking you to do? Like, what is it?
Well,
What is it letting you bet on?
yeah, it wouldn't let me go as far as I want, but it looks like the one thing it's asking is, will this trial show a positive result on average change in best corrected visual acuity weeks 52 and 56, which presumably, I mean, it gives a link out here to ClinicalTrials.gov list. I assume that's their primary endpoint.
Which could be anyone's trial.
Well,
as we just covered.
Now you're getting into, yeah. So yeah, it looks like their primary endpoint is average change in BCVA at, a year out.
Who's
or whatever.
the sponsor for this trial?
iPoint Pharmaceuticals, which I've not heard of,
Probably
but I don't really do.
Probably a smaller niche. Who knows?
But it looks like the study's not recruiting anymore, so I guess that's something.
Do they know? Do you think they know that they're on?
I don't know. That's a good,
on
good
this
question.
platform.
Again, I couldn't get that much information with, and it wouldn't let me make an account. You've got a little bit of information about the trial. It's supposed to end later this year.
So, like, what's the point of this? Like, why do this?
People really
we have our gambling problems are that bad.
Yeah, apparently. iPoint announced his first patients dosed in both. It was only in March and the study's already done. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, it's I thought it was interesting. It wouldn't let me make an account. If anybody out there has an account or can make an account, I'd be curious to see what that looks like. It says paper trading, which, I mean, that means you're not wagering real money, but even then it wouldn't let me create an account. It just kept kicking me out.
I'm still perplexed. Like, you know what? Why? What is the use of this? Like, it's not driving, hopefully not driving any of the science behind any of this. Is it just like,
I mean, presumably not. And again, if people can't actually do it anyway, like, then I don't know what impact it has or doesn't have. But I mean, again, we talked about this before. I mean, watch any sport now and you're like inundated with sports betting stuff. So I don't know, maybe there's that many just degenerate gamblers out there that they need something to put their money on.
like,
because I don't know
clinical trials, I guess. Like, what?
Who is this market intended for other than mega day traders or people who just love to got nothing better to do with their money? I don't know.
I don't know, man. It's wild to me. I cannot fathom having that much free time or interest.
And I don't know, maybe they're covering, I guess it would be a way to potentially like benefit from a non-public company, because otherwise you could just go invest in the stock of that company. But if they're not a publicly traded company, then they're not going to have, I mean, obviously you can't go.
And you like are that invested? You know, like,
surely it's not used for like money laundering or anything shady, you know?
Surely.
Certainly not. Can't imagine this going poorly for someone.
I don't know.
Or again, like, if I go and bet on a trial that I'm working on, like, what are the implications of that potentially?
I feel like there is a slight conflict of interest. Maybe.
I mean, yes, certainly, but
Not that our industry isn't already riddled with that across the board.
Well,
but
we got problems, but
let's maybe make gambling not one of them.
Well, I mean, you want to give people more reasons to fake patient data,
right? Or enroll in trials and fake outcomes and results.
Right. Yeah, so I don't know. It wasn't clear to me either, like even on the website, like, I mean, that apparently you can say yes or no or positive or negative, but there's no like odds or I don't fully understand what their system here is.
I mean, I don't fully understand why the fuck they're doing it to begin with, so let alone the system.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, good point, Miranda. Like the company themselves, like they could stand to gain.
I mean, right, generally in gambling, right, the house always wins is the general rule.
Well, you know what, dude, again, think about this. And again, I don't know how this stuff gets indexed or like picked, but like if I can start a fake ClinicalTrials.gov account and that's going to connected in through there, you can basically create a fake company with a fake drug, bet on it. It's a perfect like scheme, right?
So the next phase here is that you take your ClinicalTrials.gov study and then try to get it in this.
Try to get people to bet on it.
Try to get people to bet on it.
Yeah, and then you control the outcome, and then you can, again, I don't know enough to know what the odds are on there, whether it's worth, that seems like a lot of trouble to go to. If you got that much money, then maybe you're better off actually building a drug company than betting.
That's probably a fair point.
Anyways, interesting. I'll keep playing around with it. I'm curious to see if I wonder if you can VPN and get an account. Probably not.
Now you're going down that rabbit hole.
I mean, anything to avoid my actual job, you know?
Hence we podcast.
Exactly. All right. Well, very good. Anything else exciting? We'll be at Innovation Gathering in October.
Yeah.
If you have any interest or want to hear more about it, let us know. It's a pretty cool little, I don't want to say exclusive, but fairly limited in attendance. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, and it's not really necessarily like open to like random registration. Usually you've got to have some kind of invite or connection. So it's kind of fun.
It's a smaller group. It's a couple hundred folks too, right? Like it's meant to be very curated and folks who, I don't know, give a shit about what they're doing and want to work with others on, having conversations and solving problems. So one of my favorites.
We also have early bird tickets out now for SOS in Austin. That's 2027. So
when is that?
You got a little time. Don't ask me that right now. Trying to make me look bad, huh? Give me like 1 second and I'll tell you exactly when it is because I'll just edit this to make it. I'll just edit this.
Just edit this chunk out. Yeah, absolutely. It is
exactly when it was. Yeah, to answer your questions, February 18th, 19th, and 20th, okay. 2027.
In Austin. Okay. And then you guys have a couple more regional meetups too coming up?
Yeah, there should be some more. I don't know the dates, but I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to tell you where they are.
Those are a little bit more freeform too, though. And like, so it's less rigorously plotted.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Cool. And there's a lot of, I guess, I don't know. Some of my favorite conferences, I think, are probably on the back half of the year. I feel like we front load a lot of conferences, and those tend to be like the big ones.
Like
the big exhibit halls with, I don't know, thousands of people and shit, which, again, have interesting in their own right. But the ones I tend to appreciate slightly more are the INGs, the SOSs, summits, those.
Had to throw summits in there, huh?
I did. I did have to throw it in.
All right. Fair enough. All right, guys. Well, we'll be back.
Yeah, next week.
Tuesday.
It's the one.
Cool. All right. See you guys next time.
Catch you later.
Thanks for listening to Note to File. We're committed to continuing to bring you independent and unfiltered coverage of the clinical trial industry.
We want to talk about what you want to hear. So if you have something on your mind, hit us up at notetofilepodcast.com.